Today we're talking about the Niji Artist crayons. There's 18 of them and they are amazing. I first saw them because I went to Art Materials World and I get exposed to a lot of the different art supplies and I can find my favorite one. And this is from Yasutomo, and they're a Japanese company that are coming to the US. So a lot of the products are coming to our stores right now. I have not seen these in a store, but I know that they're on Amazon and they're on Blick, and I'll leave links below so you can find these because I bet you'll want to after you see what they can do. These crayons are good for a lot of different purposes. You can color on paper, but then you can also color on wood, color on plastic, you can color on rocks, and they are for them. Otherwise, maybe one day I should create some fun names for them. But today I'm gonna just do like what I see them looking like, and then we are going to try to blend them, and then we are going to write on some wood, and they just turned out super better. And at the end of the video you'll see how the Crayolas did, and let me tell you, it was not as good. So if you want, you can just fast forward to that point, or you can see the swatches of everything. I'm Jenny from Jenny's Crayon Collection. I help you guys find the coolest art supplies whatever project you're doing, and these are super neat. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and find other videos on crayons, colored pencils, markers, whatever art supply you like to use. I am reviewing it, or I have reviewed it, and you can check those out and don't miss any videos coming up. You can also leave now like a super thanks. You can leave little tips on videos. So if you're watching a video and you really like it, not just mine, you can leave the creator a tip. How cool is that? So it's like we're on the street and you're leaving us a tip. It'd be great if you did that if you want to. It's just something new that YouTube has rolled out, and I'm really appreciative of it because it does take time to make these, and it costs money to buy all the art supplies too. Hope you have a great day, and let's get started on this video. Today I have the Niji Artist crayon, and these are from Yasutomo. So let's look inside. We have 18 colors, and then we have a blender, which is very promising, meaning that we can hopefully get more than these colors. So maybe we can get some more colors besides this. So what we're going to do is we're going to swatch these, and then we will also try to blend them and maybe color a coloring page and see how that goes. Let's start with the first one. Unfortunately, they do not have names on them. This is what the crayon looks like. And I'm just gonna make up names for them. I'm gonna call it red. And we'll get going on the swatches. I've put this at an angle so hopefully you won't see my fingers as much as the actual crayons. And we will just go right here, just draw a little square. So first thoughts, it feels like a crayon. So we can try to do it like super saturated on one side. I like this paper. It has a little bit of tooth in it for crayons. Oh my gosh, come on, be in focus. I love my iPhone, but sometimes it like wants to get my fingers instead of what I'm coloring, which is why I'm doing it this way. I'm like, come on, iPhone. And we're gonna call this one red. It feels like a crayon to me so far. It's not super jelly like there's some that are like pastels that are a little bit more so. So we'll go on to our orange. See though that it is thick as you're putting it down. But I like this paper. I'll leave the paper in the below. So you guys can find it, but it has a little bit more tooth to it. I've been using it for like the Crayola crayons when I do print offs. Orange. Like I said, I am just making up names because I like to have names of my art supplies. I don't know if you've noticed that. Okay, so we have this one and we have a different yellow. So I'm gonna look at these two before I'll call this one bright yellow and the other one yellow maybe. because they're distinctly different. I mean, or this one could be yellow orange, I guess. You know what I should do is have like a color wheel and see what the true, I think I actually did buy one. I feel like, you know, this summer I have done a lot of stuff. I did not do as many videos, but I bought stuff for video ideas, so that way, or would this be orange yellow, because yellow is the main color. Oh well, I'm naming it, so I can name it whatever I want. But so I bought this color wheel, so it would be interesting to compare, kind of start to get an idea where all these colors lie. I've had this idea for a while to put like colors on a spectrum and kind of like map them out. So you have to like 3D map them out. So it's gonna come, but I just don't know when. It's one of those that I might do something with later. Okay, and then this one is probably yellow green, I would imagine, because we have another green that's coming. These are really pretty colors so far. You can see, so this is not as saturated and this is more, so it's like more layers. Oh, this one goes down a little bit different than the other ones did. There definitely like leaves more of the crayon. So it kind of acts like a pastel a little bit. Okay. Yellow green, right? Okay. Then our next one will be green. This one almost looks a little bluish to me, but so it'd be interesting to start to put things on this color spectrum and to assign values to the actual, I don't know if I could do it without like having 3 dimensions. I've been trying to map it out in my head because on the computer you have 3 dimensions to your color. Like the hex value is 3 dimensions, but so I feel like, yeah. Okay, so I'm going to call this one dark green, I believe. It's kind of like got a black tint to it. But anyway, so then also within, because if you just do the circle, you don't have like your reds, whites, and blacks in there, because that would like come off the paper, if that makes sense, because there's the circle, but then there's also, you can add gray and stuff to it. So it's like, do you put that in the circle? It's like, how do you define all these colors? But I'm gonna work on it and I'll figure it out, so that way you can match colors a lot easier from different supply lines. This one I'm gonna call light blue, I think. So this one would actually be, so when you look at color theory, and I have a color theory video on here. Maybe it's not too exciting, but I do have a color theory video that I go through and I talk about all this stuff. Maybe I just need to do another one that's better, but light blue. You start to recognize like this has like a black element to it and this has a white, so you can kind of see. Because the other day I was gonna do it as a video, but I ran out of time and I needed to get this blog post done. But what I actually did is I took markers and I matched them to paint, so I actually created the color from the marker, which was kind of fun. And I was surprised because I got a lot of them right. So I feel like once you start to learn your colors and get them out there, you can kind of get a feel for what colors are going to be, if that makes sense. But it just takes practice, just so we can have them all on the paper. Let's see what this one is. Oh, this one's like I would say this one has the black tint to it. So when you're looking at a color, you're like, does it have a green hue to it? Or is it just blue with a little black? So when you're looking at color, you just kind of start looking at that and see, so you can start to recognize where colors are coming from. Let's see, this one is dark blue. And you know, you can name it like midnight blue or something like that, but I'm just calling it dark blue. I'm like, does it have a reddish tint to it? You just don't know. But this one definitely is violet. We'll call this violet or purple. I don't know whichever one you want to call it, but violet's more like, I think like color-wise, it's more accurate, whatever. Okay, so this one's violet. Violet means red plus blue mixed together. And so then we come up on pink, which pink is just red with white in it. So I'm wondering if you could recreate some of these colors just if you had them. The laydown is super nice. You can see how it's catching on the paper really well. So they are a little thicker. If you wanted to do like lines, I feel like you would probably like fine detail on this. You would have to sharpen them. Okay, now we're getting into like the brown, so I'm gonna have to be more creative. I want to call this one terracotta, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'll just call it light brown or something boring. Or earth. Make up my own names for them. Light brown. I'm going to be boring with this one. I could have a lot of fun with these. Okay. And then we've got like this reddish brown coming. So maybe we'll just... This one's actually brown. So this one will probably just be brown. You can see how this one like has more of like a yellow undertone to it. So I actually made brown the other day and I was like, am I going to make it right? I added all 3 primary colors because that's what they say to do, and it turned out brown. But this one would be like the brown, and then you mix it with yellow to get the light brown. And then dark brown, I think you would make brown, and then you would maybe even add some black to it, like, because it doesn't look bluish in tint. His blue is kind of a little bit darker. So I think you would maybe add some black, but I'm going to probably, that was another video I was thinking about doing today. I was like, I should do a color matching, and I'm going to. I really want 2 cameras for that so I can talk at the same time as like doing it. And you can see my face and see. Okay, so this one's definitely gray. Should I call it Grey? Because they're from Japan, so I'm not sure. We'll just do that one because that's what it is. Okay, and then we have our black color right here. This one's pretty. So here, and then we'll do the white. The white you would use like to make different colors or whatnot. Probably won't show. Oh, I forgot to write black. It won't show up on this paper. Okay. And then we have our white. Oh, it kind of shows up a little bit. It's kind of like a creamy white. All right, next we are going to... Here's all our colors. They are so beautiful. I feel like we have a good representation of all the colors in here. So now I'm gonna maybe try to recreate some of these colors and maybe try to make like a, see if we can make like a pink from the white. So how good this does. So when you're like blending colors, almost like colored pencils, so you would take your color first and just lightly color it on there. See how that goes. Let's see. Okay. Then I'm going to take my white. And you can use this as like a blender too. So if you want to get a more intense color, you would just add a little bit more over the top of that one. So that way you're pretty much just layering these. I feel like these would make like a really nice background and be really quick because they do go down pretty quickly. So now we've put our white and our blue on top, and our white and our blue, our white and our red. So now I'm going to come in with this blender and see what that does to this. So it just, I mean, I think the crayons did a pretty good job by themselves blending, but this just like polishes it up. So if I compare this to this pink, you can see that one is definitely like more, so it probably has some violet hues to it, but we're seeing, I mean, it's pretty nice. Now we're just getting white on top, so I don't know if it works as well on top of the blender. But we're definitely getting a different color than we had to begin with. Oh, that's not the white. It's like trying to put white on top of it. They are very flaky. Okay, so that's our blended. We're trying to blend. So maybe let's try to like do a gradient. So maybe we'll try to go from like a green to a blue. I'm just going to take this green to this, no, not light blue. This green to this blue. So we're going to skipping the ones in between. So we're going to go. So now I'm trying to create like a gradient, like for a background or something like that. And see what I get. So I'm getting this really pretty like little turquoise color in here. I don't know if you guys are seeing that. But I'm just layering them because you don't want to go super, just like with colored pencils. Not like super intense until you're burnishing them. You can even do circular patterns to give it more of a blended edge right there. We're definitely seeing that. So I'm going to take this in a circular pattern so we get like this blended edge on that side. But you can see this turquoise that is coming out. We're even getting like this dark green kind of color in here. So I wonder if this is when we could use our little blender a little bit. If we wanted to stop at this point, maybe. Oh, that's white. We don't want white because then we'll get like pastel colors, right? So then we're going to take our little blender in here and see if we can get some of those white spaces out. It's basically just taking the wax, I think. It's being laid down and transferring it everywhere. You can look at that on here. It's really just... And then it's actually laying down more wax too. This is like all these things combined. That is a pretty gradient. It is pretty flaky. I have some, so you probably want to clean this off in between because you can see I have like this little reddish area over here, probably because I had some wax left over from the last thing I was doing. But you can see that's a super pretty gradient right here. I mean, the wax buildup there, I mean, I feel like there's a lot. What I saw Super Ray Dizzle do one time, she like scratches it off. So you're just left with the pigment below, which would be an interesting experiment. But see, look, we got this, it's super burnished now. Oh boy. Just gonna try. Oh, that's looking really nice. So now I'm going over the top of it. I don't know if it's best to like do this before or after you put the actual thing on. Now it's definitely leaving more down, so you can see that blue is really getting in there. It's just not exactly what I want. But look, that is super pretty. I feel like that would be a really good background page. So let's try her method. I'm trying to think of what I have over here to use. This is like a crayon peeler, but it has a weird edge. So this is what I'm talking about. This is what Super Ray Dizzle does. So you see how kind of take away the top portion of your page. It's still blended pretty good. So you're actually just like taking all that wax off. Maybe not, some kind of knife or something would probably be better to use. But look, under there. Yeah, it's definitely leaving like an indent in the paper, so. But you kind of want to do it in the direction that you want it to come off. So what do you like better? Do you like when you've like taken the crayon off? Like it is like there is a difference. You're leaving a lot of crayon down when you put this on. All right, I actually have put these on rocks. So when I met with Yasutomo at Materials Art World Creativation in Orlando, I put it on some rocks and it turned out really pretty. We're going to try some wood right now. So I have this wood in front of me that we can maybe like make a flower like I did on the other one, because my creativity is like not great right now. Oh, we still have some pink on here, so you can just kind of scrape that off if you need to. Got a pink middle of the flower. Maybe we'll just do a pink flower. Oh, it's usually yellow, right? I don't know. But look at that. Look at how good it goes down on the wood. So you could do like flower pots. Put a flower on a flower pot. You could do wood. You can do rocks. It's hard because you're like, you have the grain of the wood. I feel like. And here's my little flower. So what you could come in here and do, you could like just come in here with the red. Where did I put the red? Just kind of see how I'm kind of like creating these edges on the flower with the red. So you can see that little distinction, I guess. Oh, maybe I should just do it all red. Yeah, that looks better. Why is it not? It's too blended right there. These, okay, I just want to show you guys. So you saw how well that went down. I want to show you what a Crayola crayon would look like, because I think it wouldn't look as nice. We're going to try it like here on the other side, but I'm just going to show you, or maybe I should show you side by side what this would look like. So we're just trying to draw white on here. Do you see how you can't even like see that white on here? Okay. This is like the difference with these crayons. And now we're just going to draw, like this is a random pink. It's just salmon. So I can see salmon, but you see how there's not as vibrant. Like you really can't see that white. You can see the red. I mean, it actually was red, not. But can you see it? Look at that. You can still like see the grain of the wood and everything. Look at how vibrant that one is. Like you can really just tell the difference. Like this is like, yeah, it looks like you drew on it with something, but this you can really tell that you drew on something. So that's just the difference in these crayons. These are made to do this kind of stuff, not just paper. Like they're made to put on other things. You could write your name. You could, you know, you could do lots of stuff with these crayons. And I'm sure there's, like how I was saying, where Dizzle scrapes stuff away. I'm sure there's a lot of other things that people are doing with them to make them like that. I mean, there are some Crayons that might do similar things, but yeah, such a big difference right there. And then like on this other side, let's see, right here. So So you can get some of those details in. You just have to make sure you have a sharp edge to your crayon. But look, they are super vibrant. The white looks super nice. Just super cool crayons to use on anything. Let me know if you end up picking these up. I will leave the link below on where to get them, so that way you can get them and you can try them out and you can have so much fun. How much fun would this be, like, if you did it for a preschool project, or just for, like, you left them on rocks and left it around? Like, the good thing about crayons is, as opposed to, like, well, I guess if you get acrylic paint, it won't wash away, but crayons won't wash away. Like, even if I do this, it kind of does a little bit, but if you take off some of that, if you brush it away, it won't really smear that much. So that is super pretty. I can't believe that difference still. Oh my gosh. All right. Which color was your favorite out of all of these colors right here? Would you pick up this box just to try it out? These are great crayons. I hope you guys like them, and we'll see you in the next video.